as a licensed realtor and the customer care specialist with Community and Council Realty. So today I have another member of our team, Ashley Weibel, here. She has started some super cool initiatives, and I'm really excited to talk to her a little bit about them. So Ashley, thank you so much for joining me.
Of course, happy to be here.
Yay! So I guess the first thing is like an introduction, a little bit about yourself and how you got in the industry.
Absolutely. Well, like you said, my name's Ashley. I'm a mom of two boys, a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old. So when I wanted to start a new career, something that allows me to be involved with them as much as I was previously was really important. So before children, I was a nanny and a family manager and all kinds of fun stuff like that, which was very heavy in like schedules and routines and managing multiple calendars and all kinds of things that I'm really glad I have in my repertoire as an agent, because we use a lot of those skills now. I have a lot of family members that are in real estate, so that was very helpful to motivate me into this field. My husband is a commercial appraiser, actually. So it was only a matter of time, really, before I joined in on all the fun.
Yeah, so I guess it's kind of surprising with all that real estate influence that it took this long to get you involved.
Very
Well, that's awesome. So how long have you been in real estate and how long have you been on our team? You've been around for a while.
Yeah, well, I've been an agent officially now for a year. Yeah, I'm right at my anniversary.
Oh, happy anniversary. Awesome. Well, so you've been an agent for a year and you've been on our team since you became an agent. So I think it's funny because you've been super successful and you kind of joined in a crazy market. Like the timing was probably not ideal, but you've managed to always get great reviews, always come out on top. What is kind of attributed to your success?
Well, so, I always try to remember what it's like to be on the other side. I've had some different experiences when purchasing homes, and I try to remember what it feels like to be in that very stressful situation, especially in this market because it's been bananas. And I try to make sure I'm super available to them, that my clients know that there's no question I'm not willing to answer or find out the answer to. There's no question that's still too silly to ask. And I just make sure that I try to respond as quickly as possible so they're not waiting around wondering how something's going to fall, because that just adds to the anxiety of an already difficult market.
Right. And I know you kind of addressed this lightly in your why, which can be found on your agent profile page on our website. But you mentioned you've had a couple different experiences, one not so great and one great, which makes your why very service-based. Can you go in a little bit about your experiences and how they inspired you to be as great as you are?
Yeah, so me and my husband have purchased 2 homes. We had, like I said, very different experiences. Not knowing anything about the home purchasing process the first go around, I didn't really realize what I was missing out on. Now, obviously, both of them ended up getting the job done. We ended up with 2 houses that we absolutely love, but the service the second time around and just feeling like I was that agent's most important client really made a huge difference. And it made it way less stressful and less daunting, less daunting timeline too.
That's awesome. And just as kind of like a little like cheer for you, part of my job is to always check in with clients, and I have literally never heard anything negative about you, and it's always been like people singing your praises. So I think that you definitely embody everything that you put into your why, and everything that you represent is totally the service that you offer. And I love that. It's always great to hear. So joining a team is a big decision, and you made that decision right out of the gate. Can you tell me a little bit about what influenced that decision? I mean, independent versus team, why?
Yeah, so I knew I wanted to be on a team because I wanted access to some of the great minds in the business. And our team, fortunately, has a lot of those. There's always someone available to offer guidance, answer a question, or just help in a time of need. So it's been really beneficial. And it was a really big factor in why I wanted to join a team. And when I first talked to Ryan Graham, I just felt like our personalities and things that we found most important in life, not just in real estate, really aligned well. And I felt really comfortable sharing with him almost immediately. And I knew that I was going to get the guidance I needed, especially in this first year with him.
Yeah, and I know you're very service-based, just like your background is very service-based. That's a lot of who you are. And obviously that's a big part of our team, is to be very community-oriented and relationship-oriented. And you have specifically taken a lot of initiatives for getting involved in your community. What are some of the things you've been doing? I love seeing it on Facebook.
So I think the thing I'm been doing most often is I'm a blood donor, and I have been for a while. My parents were always donors growing up, so I grew up going with them occasionally to their appointments, and it just was always just seems such a simple act to create a lot of good out of. It's the easiest way I found to give back. There's always a need for blood and blood and platelets. The Red Cross actually allows you to like track your donation, so you get a little notice and a reminder about where it ended up. So it's kind of like a little bit like a feel good, like, oh look, that's where my blood or my platelets ended up, so you know you helped someone. But it, yeah, that's just something that's always been important to me, and something that I've continued to try to grow with. I actually just donated platelets for the first time last month, so that was kind of like my team pushing me to do that.
Yeah. And this might be kind of silly, but I've always been like very scared of donating blood or anything like that. And I'm not even really sure what it does. Like, I'm assuming you donate and it goes to a person in need. Is that kind of how it works?
So it goes to a hospital usually, and they will either use it or store it, so they have it on hand whenever someone has an emergency or whatever need comes about for it.
Okay, that makes sense. And
Don't be scared. You should try it.
I mean, I'm open to trying it. It's just like the needle thing is the fear, but I love to help.
Really
Okay, so if I or anybody else were wanting to get involved, like, what do you do? How did you get into this?
So it's really simple. You go to, I think it's redcrossblood.org, and they have a really easy way to sign up for appointments. There's appointments all over the city. A lot of places will host a donation site for a couple of days. I think Pont City Market does it sometimes. Churches do it all the time. So there's just opportunities everywhere, and you just pick a time, you show up, you donate, they give you a little snack and a bottle of water, and you're on your way. I'm in and out usually in less than 45 minutes. So it's really not a huge time consumption, and it's very easy.
Okay, cool. So that's something that I think is super informative, and I'll make sure that I link that in the comments when we conclude, so nobody has to like remember that info or anything. Kind of on the same note, you have not only been really involved in like helping your community, but you've been really involved with kind of, I guess, creating more access and knowledge for people in your community. You're located in Grant Park, so you kind of stay focused in that area, but you've done some pretty cool content. Can you share a little bit about it?
It's been really fun. Like I said, I have two boys, so finding those spaces outside that both contain them and entertain them is really important to our survival. So I've really just been highlighting things that we like to do as a family, and things that I hope other people would enjoy and might not know about, especially those that aren't super familiar with Atlanta and don't live within the city limits. I think there's this idea that green space and playgrounds and parks don't really exist here, but Atlanta's actually super green, and there's tons of fun outdoor activities and areas that are accessible to anyone. And with the Beltline, it's made it really easy to start someplace and simply walk to the next place. Everything is really connected here, so it's just really accessible.
Absolutely. And that's something in your first video specifically, you focused a lot on like a belt line or how to enter the belt line kind of like stroll. And I thought that was cool because as somebody that grew up outside of Atlanta, I know about all of the places, but when it comes to entryways and access points, I'm pretty clueless. I thought that was awesome. And you highlighted some of the historical significance of locations. So that was your first video. And where specifically were you in that video?
I was in Grant Park, which Grant Park consists of the park itself. It also has the Zoo Atlanta. And they actually just added a giant parking deck that they put a really big field on top of, it's called the Gateway. It's just a really cool space. People use it for all kinds of stuff. So, and it's enormous. So it's kind of a neat new thing.
Yeah, that's super cool. And I wouldn't have known about that otherwise unless you mentioned it. And so your second video highlighted a new park in Peoplestown, and I might get the name wrong, so please correct me, WD Stanton Park.
Stanton Park.
Oh,
yeah.
I was
And it's not super new, but I feel like a lot of people don't know about it because it's kind of tucked away inside the neighborhood, and it's literally right off the South Side Beltline Trail, and it has a lot of really cool features. I mean, I wasn't able to show in the video. It does have a splash pad that comes on daily, and the kids love it, and it's just a really neat place.
That's awesome. And it's green. It has some environmental perks to it as well, right?
It's, I think, all solar energy.
That's really cool. So just so everybody knows, you have done both of these videos are like you actively walking through spaces or kind of playing in spaces with your kids. So it's as if you're looking at the space yourself, and it takes time to highlight important features and like historical like monuments and stuff. So I definitely recommend anybody who has interest in Atlanta watch those videos because they're short, sweet, and they're informative. Can we expect more stuff similar to that from you?
Yeah, I'm hoping to highlight a few more areas near me and then expand out to maybe places that I've never been to before so I can experience it along with you.
That's awesome. And I'll stay tuned. I'm sure a lot of people, in addition, will stay tuned because it's super cool information. And once I learned an access point, I feel a lot more comfortable doing something. So if you can be the guinea pig, that's awesome.
Absolutely.
And just kind of on the note, you're the first person on the team that's done something like this. This idea is not like anything that you have taken that other team members have done. Like, how did you come up with it?
Well, I talked a lot with Michelle, who does a lot of our media stuff, and I just did what I like to do. These are things that me and my family, like I said, that we go out and we enjoy these spaces, and I just wanted to share it with other people. So it wasn't anything outside of my comfort zone, I guess. I'm not super comfortable in front of a camera, so it's nice to be behind the camera. But it's been a lot of fun.
Awesome. Well, I got to admit, when I saw it, I was a little jealous. I was like, how did I not come up with that? So I think it's great that you did because it's so unique. Like, it's just an awesome idea. And y'all, between you and Michelle, the coordination and the execution is just very cool.
They've done a great job with it.
So you live in the Grant Park area, but you service Atlanta and the whole greater Atlanta area. You're awesome. If somebody watches this and really is just like, I want to work with Ashley, how do we get in touch with you?
Well, you can email me at ashley@communityandcouncil.com or give me a call. Do you want me to say my phone number?
You don't have to if you're not comfortable with it. I know that's like kind of weird.
On the thing, but yeah, I'm available. Call, text, email, any time of day.
Awesome. And I will put your email and your agent profile in the comments as well, so nobody has to like remember it or anything. And before I let you go, I know you're like super busy, kids, work, all that, but I have to ask, what does home ownership mean to you?
Yeah, so I get really attached to places I live. It's not just where we put our stuff or live our day-to-day lives. I feel like our home is where we're marking our history, and it's really comforting to know that I have this place that I can call mine, and I can be here for however long I want to be here. I couldn't even bring myself to erase the growth charts of the previous owners because it just feels like it's part of our home's history, and we just want to add to it and enjoy in the comfort of having a place to call home.
Yeah, I think that's great. And I'm similar. I think like knowing that there was love in a house before you were in it and you're just adding to it is the coolest thing. We found little items and like stuff in our house, and I'm like, I can't get rid of this. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me and get a little in more depth about your projects and your community give back that you've been doing. We'll definitely have to do it again.
Yes, thanks for having me.
Of course, and have a good day.
Thank you.